Hi there, y'all. I am Juliette Miranda, and welcome to Bourbon Soaked Live, where on every Monday night we hang out and we drink bourbon and get to know each other through stories and our shared love of booze. So I see we've got all sorts of activity in the chat already, which is totally awesome. I want to say hi to some of my friends who are out there. We've got DR, Mad Kiwi, who actually ages bourbon and does like a whole still thing at home. Super cool. We're going to have to hear more about that. I also see, oh, my favorite container man has joined us. RWC Cars is here. Wendell Live. Donner Pass Whiskey, of course, can't forget you. So thank you so much for joining me here tonight, y'all. I would take a moment to introduce Behind the Rant, but he has run out of the studio and abandoned me. So I'm here on my own, just talking to y'all, hoping that nothing goes wrong. I don't even know where he went. He seems to have just disappeared on me and forgotten that we're live tonight, which is fine. John Isabella, hello, welcome to the show. Wendell Live, thank you for joining us. So our topic tonight is guilty pleasures. Oh yes, we are absolutely going to be talking about all the crazy things that we love that, not that we're not supposed to, but that maybe, we know just aren't necessarily worthy of it, but we love it anyway. And oh, he's back. He's back.
We have a neighbor with an emergency, so...
We do?
Yeah, I'm gonna need to help him, but you can just...
Is everything okay?
Oh, yeah, he's fine.
Oh, bummer.
He
All
just
right.
needs a little help.
Oh, well, that's too bad. So that behind the microphone is Behind the Rant, who's going to be abandoning me shortly.
Hello. Yes, I have to abandon her for just a moment. So.
But before you go, I just wanted to make sure that it being Veterans Day, we take a moment to just thank all of our veterans out there for their service and for doing what they do to keep this country a safe and amazing place. So thank you for that. And there goes Behind the Rant, running out the door.
Oh, helping a neighbor who needs help.
Wow, actually helping a neighbor. Normally we just annoy them. Huh. So I wanted to kick things off tonight. Oh, wait, I see. What have we got going on here? Music Gear Network just joined us. Well, hey, y'all, we will pay a little bit more attention to the chat in just a couple of minutes when Behind the Rant, David, the producer, returns and gets back over there where he can handle things. As for me, I wanted to tell you a little bit of a love story. Yeah. Container man, she must be hot. No, sir. Actually, I wanted to tell a little story about Cowpoke. And Cowpoke is an amazingly handsome dude who happens to have a fishtail and a stick pony. Now, we're talking guilty pleasures here, so let me just do what I can to describe Cowpoke to you. We found him in a little shop in New Orleans. And oh, y'all, I fell in love with Cowpoke at first sight. He was, I don't know, maybe this big or so. Icy Mesh and Drum is here. Hey, y'all. Cowpoke was about this big. Let's see. There we go. That big. Maybe that big. And he was a statue of brilliant proportions. He had a glittery red mermaid tail, a bare chest, a little cowboy hat, and a little stick pony that he was riding. I mean, if you're going to be a merman, you gotta ride a stick pony, right? I loved this thing. I loved it with all my heart. And I look at David and I go, you know what? We're buying him. And I have to admit, I might have been a little drunk. Because that's what you do when you're in New Orleans. You drunk shop. You buy things you don't necessarily need because at the time they look glorious in your, bourbon goggles. So I dropped a small fortune for the lovely Cowpoke. And for one day, he was mine. Oh, Cowpoke. We went everywhere together because I loved him so much and I was so hammered. I tucked him under my arm and I walked around the French Quarter with him. I had a merman with me for about 5 hours and we took him to every bar. People loved him. They were taking photos with him. They wanted to have a moment with the glory that is Cowpoke. And the next day, I packed him up and delicately wrapped him up in bubble wrap and, put him in my carry-on and got him on the airplane just fine. And then we got to the airport. And I hand the bag that he was in to David, the producer, and I say, could you hang on to him for a moment? I'm going to go use the restroom. So I go and use the restroom and come back. And he's sitting there and he's like, oh, yeah, I went too. It's all good. And when we get home, we discover that David left cowpoke in the men's room. Just completely forgot about my merman in the fucking men's room at O'Hare Airport. And I shuddered to think about what would have happened to cowpoke. I mean, what kind of dirty, horrible person grabbed him and took him home? I mean, he's scared and lonely, and he's not mine anymore. And although I know he was tacky and rather hideous, I still loved him with all of my heart. And if you want to see a picture of cowpoke, we have one on Twitter. Just look for the hashtag BourbonSoakLive. You'll see him sitting right there in front. And a little bit later today in the show, assuming Behind the Rant comes back to me, we're going to be showing your photos as well. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment, stop what you're doing, take a photo. Could be of yourself, could be of your favorite guilty pleasure, I won't judge, and then post it on Twitter using the hashtag BourbonSoakedLive. Now, I see all sorts of stuff going on in the chat. Let's see if I can see what's going on here. Oh, RWC Cars. I'm guilty for liking beautiful women like Juliette Miranda. Isn't that adorable? Let's see. I see that we've got some bourbon fans here. Donner Pass, Mash and Drum. Not a great gamer. Really? Really? What's wrong with you? We have this crowd of troublemakers who pop in every so often, and you're absolutely one of them, sir. David, lesson number 1, never piss off a red-haired woman. Mad Kiwi, you are 100% right. Never piss off a redhead, because we will go fucking crazy on you. This is why I drink bourbon. I'm hearing all sorts of craziness going on outside this room. I don't know what my guy is doing out there, but whew, crazy night here at the Bourbon Soak Live Ranch. What do you say we talk a little bit about what we're drinking? I have a delightful glass of Barrel Bourbon Batch 20. Ta-da! Now, this is a blended bourbon, and I have to keep saying this because people come to me and they say, oh, blended, why drink a blended bourbon that's really expensive? And yes, barrel bourbon can be expensive. I think this bottle was about $70. They are so good at creating a perfect bourbon blend. It's fantastic. This is aged an average of 10 years, so it's a blend of a 10 and a 14-year-old whiskey. And the results are so amazing. Now, this is their 20th release, and I gotta say, every single release that they put out is different and really nuanced and really, really delicious. So what I like about this one is that it's got a little bit more of a fruity flavor to it. And I don't mean it tastes like, a Starbucks. Starbucks? No, Starburst. That's what it is, a Starburst. It doesn't have that crazy over-the-top fruity flavor. It's really more nuanced and subtle. So you get a little bit of that note of cherry in there, a little bit of a tropical fruit flavor almost, like a kiwi, actually. And then it gets that oaky sort of, not over the top, but just really light and woody sort of flavor. It's so good, y'all. What are y'all drinking right now? Mash and Drum says, I just got to look at cowpoke. Wow, that's unique. Yeah, cowpoke is unique and delightful, and I miss him every single day. He's been gone for almost a year, and I shed a tear for him quite often. All right, Wendell Live. I just love anything bourbon. Yeah, that's pretty much how I roll. As long as it's got a bourbon, I'm good. RWC Cars is having Captain Morgan spiced rum with ginger ale. Ooh, ginger ale. I don't drink a lot of rum, but I think if it was mixed in ginger ale, I would probably enjoy it a lot more. Because, man, I love ginger. That, spicy punch is just so good. Oh, the Who's Right Boys have joined us. An oaky afterbirth sounds delicious. I don't think I use the word afterbirth because I don't imagine that would be oaky at all, but thanks for calling that out, guys. Anthony Redneck Way of Life has joined me. Thanks for coming by. Nancy Jones is here also. Yes, exactly. Another troublemaker in the crowd. I love it, y'all. Oh, so good. So if you hear a little bit of commotion outside the studio, apparently someone in our neighborhood has had a little bit of, I don't know if it's an excitement or an accident or something, but my guy is helping them out, and there's a little bit of conversation going on in the other room that I'm listening to. And I'm flying solo right now. So if something goes wrong, if something blows up, it's not my fault. I'm here left to my own devices, and quite honestly, why would you ever leave a redhead alone to her own devices? Just craziness, right? So we're going to be talking guilty pleasures. And we had a whole fancy presentation planned for y'all with my top 5 guilty pleasures. So since I no longer have a producer, I'm just going to have to roll through them myself without all the fancy graphics and transitions and all of that. But I want to make sure that we also hear your guilty pleasures. So be sure to share them. And I got to say, my top 5, the first one is a cheerleader movie. Because yes, Container Man, I do have a thing for pretty girls. And Bring It On, like, satisfies that craving so perfectly. Strippers, I just have to see some skin sometime. Welcome to the chat, Patrick Fulmer. And yeah, I'd say strippers make an outstanding guilty pleasure. That's actually why I like the movie Bring It On, is because it's a little raunchy. It's kind of sexy, but not really. It's just got that hint of sexiness. And it has that girl, I can't think of her name. It's Eliza something. Eliza Dushku? Is that it? I don't know if you all know her, but she's got dark hair. She was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And she just has this sort of like bad girl quality to her that I totally dig. And there's something about seeing her in her little cheerleader uniform, doing cheers and jumping up and down and doing the splits. I don't know, it just works for me. It's a little less gratuitous than going to see strippers, but, you know, I get why those work too. I see that Mad Kiwi has, oh, thank you, Patrick Fulmer. Mad Kiwi has a thing for Hooters. Now tell me you're talking about the restaurant chain. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Container Man. So I'm sorry, I'm distracted, y'all. I'm hearing conversation outside of the room from whatever the hell's going on out there. And I'm here trying to talk about my guilty pleasures. And I'm thinking about pretty girls, too. So you got to admit, there's probably a lot going on in my head. And I'm going to be throwing knives in a minute here, I'm sure. So we were talking about Hooters. I actually, I think it was my 27th birthday, I dragged a whole group of my girlfriends to Hooters. And I made us all hang out there for the night and ogle the Hooters girls. I mean, we were really like lecherous and disgusting about it. Worse than any other person I've ever seen in Hooters. We were disgusting. And because we're girls, we totally got away with it. I mean, it was just as goofy as it could be. Oh, hello. Behind the Rant is back. Well, you got to give me an update about what the hell just happened.
No, I'm not going to tell you.
No, you left me alone in here with a crowd full of people. What was going on?
He locked himself out of his house. It's, it's 0 degrees outside.
It is.
You know, he can't sit out there. He didn't have the number for the maintenance folks.
What? I have it on my phone.
Not the new one. There's a new emergency one.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. Okay.
So I had to go hunting that down for him. But he is out of harm's way. He's going to the Starbucks until they get here to let him in.
Oh, well, all has ended well.
I did my duty for the year.
Wow, you are a good Samaritan. And you know why David, the producer, is such a nice person? Because when the doorbell rang, I never would have answered it.
That's a true statement.
So we have started discussing our guilty pleasures.
Ah, okay. Did you get through your first one?
I did the first one, but if you'd like them to see the sexiness that is, bring it on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And there's a really great scene coming up that I absolutely adore. So that's what's her name, the blonde chick. I don't really dig blondes.
Hottie McTotterton, I think is her name.
But this movie is just so torrid and goofy and over the top. It makes me happy every single time. And yes, that was Eliza Dushku right there in the bikini.
Ooh.
Yeah, she's my favorite.
Yeah, this is filled with hot chicks.
It is. But every time it's on, you never want to watch it.
Because it's an awful movie.
It has cheerleaders in it. How can it be bad?
It also has male cheerleaders. I'm out.
Well, they're funny about it.
Yeah.
So we have a bunch of our friends in the chat. We had
I see Wendell Live.
Mash
I see
and
Container
Drum.
Man,
Yes.
Awesome.
Who's
Not a
Right
great gamer.
has been here.
Who's Right?
Skulking around in the corners
Yeah.
like the troublemakers they are. Nancy Jones is here, speaking of troublemakers.
And Recycle Dude.
Recycle Dude just joined us. And so we have guilty pleasure number 4, Kraft macaroni and cheese. And I'm not talking the creamy variety of it. Oh no, I'm talking the powdered blue box macaroni and cheese.
That stuff is garbage.
Yeah, I see you retching a little bit back there. And I don't understand why, because it's so goddamn good.
Oh, it is the worst. It's powdered cheese.
Yeah, but it tastes like childhood. And when you just get that perfect balance right with the milk and the butter and everything, it comes together and it's just heavenly. I don't know why you don't like it.
It's a dumpster fire.
Oh, I see a reference to Mila Kunis. There's another dark-haired hottie that I dig.
Oh, man. I love her.
Yeah.
She's so great. I just don't get the whole relationship with her and Ashton
I am
Kutcher,
so
though.
disappointed in her for that. I really am. I mean, plus now she's got kids, and that's just not sexy to me. Sorry, it's just not. I'll say it. I find childbirth completely alien. I just do.
Anthony Redneck Way of Life says powdery goodness. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Hashtag Bourbon Soak Love. Hashtag powdery cheesy goodness.
Let's see what you have next.
Number 3. Yep. Okay, I said I don't dig the blondes, but there is one exception to the rule, and that would be my beloved Britney Spears. How can you not like this video? It's girls in Catholic school uniforms dancing around saying, "Hit me one more time."
It was hot back then.
I would
It's
happily
still hot
smack
today.
her around a little bit.
Yeah. And I'd pay to see that.
No, this song, it came out when I was living in Los Angeles, and it just like swept through LA. It was playing at every single club. It didn't matter if it was a rock club, if it was, a dance club. Britney was playing. So it was just part of the experience of living there, and I can't hear this song without thinking about, living in this little shithole apartment and dating this fucking insane girl that I call Danger Zone. She actually threatened me with a broken beer bottle. That's how insane she was.
Yeah.
And it just reminds me of Britney every time.
Well, I've seen Britney on interviews, and she's as dumb as a box of hair.
That's not the point.
I know.
She can be dumb. She doesn't have to
get it.
speak.
I get it.
In fact, it's probably better if she doesn't. But
That's a great point. If that meeting comes with duct tape, I'm in.
not a great gamer. Yes. He says he'd attack her with a plastic shovel, WWE style. That's an entirely different kind of thing. Oh, baby, baby, a shovel across my nose.
Yeah, that's gamer.
Whew, all right. And Anthony Redneck Way of Life says, amen on the dumb and silent ones.
Yes.
Cheers
Hey,
to that.
Creator Spotlight Show, Mike's here.
Oh, well, hello,
He
Mike.
says he shows up at the right time. Yes, you did, Sarah.
Oh,
And Patrick Fulmer,
Fulmer.
sorry.
Yes, yes, yes. He has had some comments as well.
I'm sure.
Well, I can't be the only one who digs Britney, right? I mean, I'm not alone in this. I mean, I even kind of like some of her music. I do. I do.
Yeah.
I know logically it's not good. It's overproduced music and it's, just
She was a Disney star.
well,
She's a manufactured,
she's a
teen idol.
teen idol. Yeah. And I have respect for that. And I love that she went batshit, and now I don't know if she still has a show in Vegas. Does she?
She did for the longest time. I don't
She
know if
did.
I don't know if it's still going. I don't know.
But I love that she kind of had a comeback and, did the whole Vegas thing. I think that's awesome. I love her.
Yep. Move on to number 4.
Ooh. Technically, it's number 2.
Oh, you're going backwards.
Yes.
I did
But
not
that's
know
fine.
these things.
It would be a book. Yes, I also read. And this one is especially tawdry. It's Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. Now, this book came out, I want to say, in the late 60s. And it was just, I don't want to call it groundbreaking because it breaks no ground, but it's definitely taboo breaking because the story concerns a brother and a sister and their 2 siblings being locked in an attic for their adolescence by their, money-hungry mother. And they are systematically abused and tortured by their grandmother up there. And of course, they go through puberty, so the brother and the sister fall in love. Oh, it's so disgusting.
Ugh.
It's so gross. It's so cringy, but it's so irresistible. You read that crap and it's like watching a train wreck. It's so funky. You have to keep reading. And it was on the banned book list. So of course that made me want to read it even more when I was in, 7th or 8th grade. And my mother, she had the entire Flowers in the Attic series. I think there is 6 or 7 books in it. And I said, hey, can I give these a read? It's on the banned book list. And she goes, sure, here's the whole series. And I'm like, great, Mom, thanks.
How come you weren't a normal teenager and read stuff like The Outsiders?
I did read The Outsiders. I read every book I could get my hands on,
Yeah,
really.
that's true. You were always an avid reader.
I was. I read books voraciously.
Now we have Robin Slim joining us.
Oh, my favorites, Robin Slim. And I see Donner Pass says it's like Blue Lagoon in an attic. And that's exactly what it is. It is totally that. It's creepy, but also a little touching, It's a beautiful story.
I'm sure there was a lot of touching.
RWC Cars says that everybody's different, but who wants to bang a Mouseketeer? I think there's a whole generation of people who really wanted to bang Annette. Am I wrong?
Oh, yeah, like our parents' age.
Well, that's my point,
Yeah.
is that Mouseketeers have always kind of been the start of sexuality for people.
But Brittany was a Musketeer.
And
when
Brittany
they had
was,
When
yeah.
they did that whole bring back thing of the Mickey Mouse Club.
I don't know. There's just something innocent and still not about it, which I guess is a little creepy in its own right. But
Yeah, a little bit.
well, I know the rule is that, you can't fantasize about anybody. How many years is it younger than you are? Like,
Oh, you know my rule.
yeah.
Yeah. I can't fantasize anyone younger than my, was it 3 years younger or older than my daughter?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I get.
Which she's getting older now, and that's no fun anymore.
I know, it limits your options.
I gotta change my rule.
Oh, Mad Kiwi says, excellent book. Also read Flowers in the Attic as a teen. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a rite of passage. You get your hands on that forbidden book, and whether you're on the school bus or hanging out with friends, you just kind of pour through those pages. I see you've moved us along to number 1.
I have, only because it grosses me out so much I had to see the video.
You're no fun. And I have stuff to get to in the chat, but since it's showing right now, I will say my number 1 guilty pleasure, Jell-O shots.
It's, for someone that enjoys amazing bourbons, and you have developed this palate over the years,
Yes.
for you to actually want to do Jell-O shots just I don't understand it.
Jello shots are delightful. Yeah, and they're terrible too. But one, I love Jello. And I love booze. So you combine the two, and it's just fantastic and cheesy, yes, but really fun to drink or shoot, however you want to look at it. But they're party. They remind me of a crazy party, It's not something I do every weekend. It's not something. The only time I did do Jello shots was when we were in New Orleans, and there was that hot little bartender, or not bartender, like shot girl.
Oh, the shot girl. Yeah.
She had Jello shots that she was passing around.
That night I didn't mind doing Jello shots. Okay, you got
She
me
got
there.
the both of us so hammered, and she made a small fortune off of us by being really flirty and really pretty. And in New Orleans they do the sexy shot thing, where she holds it in her mouth and you've got to scoop it out.
My favorite part of that story is the next year that we went.
Oh my
and
God!
we saw her again.
Yeah,
she had a shiner.
Black eye. I mean, her eye was just blackened. Clearly, she did not listen.
She obviously she doesn't know how to listen.
Uh-uh.
I couldn't believe she showed up to work with a shiner a year later.
Oh my God! I know, it was crazy. But yeah, I once threw a party, and we had all the regular party drinks and everything. There was beer, there were hard liquor and everything. But I made a mass quantity of Jello shots. I think I had 5 different varieties of them, and there had to have been at least 70 shot glasses. And I got everybody at that party so hammered, we all pretty much just passed out in the living room and woke up, 5-7 hours later, looking around, going, "What happened to us? What did you do?"
Did you see what Not a Great Gamer says?
I did not.
He says, "You mean jelly?" He says, "The fuck is Jello?" He's in the UK, so I don't think they call it Jello over there.
Oh, maybe it has a different name. It's gelatin.
Yeah.
So
Jello
it's
short for gelatin.
It's a liquid. It's a flavored liquid, fruity flavored liquid that turns into a semi-solid state that has been mixed with booze, usually vodka, but also rum. I actually did a round with bourbon. That was vile, but we shot them anyway. So
there you go.
it's just tasty, tasty stuff. Oh, the drink that RWC Cars likes is Sex on a Beach. And yes, that's actually another kind of guilty pleasure shot. I forget what's in that. Do you know what's in Sex on a Beach?
No, not really. No, I never go for those kind of
I used to.
themed shots or themed drinks. Just get me a good bourbon.
I know now that I'm
I'm
old,
done.
I don't do shots like I used to. Jelly is a wibbly wobbly dessert. Robin Slimmer asking about jungle juice. Now, everybody has a different definition of what jungle juice is. Now, what's yours? What do you put in jungle juice? Because what we had, we called guac. And it was a mix of Kool-Aid, usually lemonade Kool-Aid, occasionally pink lemonade Kool-Aid, and Everclear. And we would put it in just a gigantic bucket and just dip our cups in. So that's what we did. But I know that there's a different version of that for everybody.
Not a Great Gamer says that the main component for Sex on the Beach is sand.
Well, you don't drink sand.
You haven't met Not a Great Gamer.
I'm a little afraid.
As you should be.
Wendell Live was saying that we need to do a group live stream from New Orleans.
Oh, heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Although,
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen us in New Orleans.
Well, we'll be back there in August.
We will. We will. We just, I make no promises for my sober state
Or behavior.
or behavior.
Wendell, that would be awesome. We could also connect with Anthony and Donna out there. just
Yeah, like
done
we did the last time. We had a blast. Went out to lunch and hung out and
Yep.
showed them the Jackson Square, which is so beautiful.
And Anthony actually has the components for what is in Sex on the Beach.
Ooh, tell me. It is vodka, peach schnapps, orange juice, and cranberry juice. That explains why I like it, because it's got that little bit of tart to it. It's not overly sweet. There was another one, kind of like a redheaded slut.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, I think it's Jaeger.
Oh,
It might be Jaeger. Does anybody know what's in a redheaded slut? And please don't give me the literal answer.
Of David. Some producer guy, I heard.
Yeah, exactly. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, Wendell. August of 2020, that is. We just went last August. So
Yeah,
we go every year for the Red Dress Run.
Oh, it's the best. And every time, so I have to say, we mentioned it earlier, it is fucking cold outside.
Yes, it is.
I believe with the wind chill, it is -5 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And that is just cold as balls. So whenever we start talking about New Orleans, I get very misty-eyed and nostalgic because...
Two Family Homestead.
Oh, hey, y'all. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's great to see you guys. I was just on their show last week.
Yeah,
It was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, right after
Yeah, it
you
was
did your
last
show.
week. I'm in a time warp. So if you head on over to their channel, you can check that out. We had a great conversation and talked about all sorts of cool stuff. It was a lot of fun. So thanks for being here, guys.
Yes, and Wendell wants to know where we're based out of. We're based out of Chicago.
Lovely Chicago.
Lovely, cold Chicago.
Underwhelming Chicago. The frozen tundra of Chicago. And if for the next 6 months all I do is bitch about the weather, y'all are just going to have to put up with it because, man, I hate the cold. I really, really hate the cold, and I need more bourbon now because I'm
Nancy
chilly.
says it's 55 by her, and she's out in Seattle. That's I'll take 55.
Anthony Redneck Way of Life has explained what is in a red-headed slut.
It is Jägermeister. You're
It
right.
is. I thought
With
so.
peach schnapps. Why does everything have peach schnapps in it? That's an absolute crap drink.
You know, peach schnapps actually is a fascinating mixer. I put it in our sangria. What?
Not a great gamer. Always bust my chops about Chicago.
Oh, like he has anything to talk about.
Hey, listen, UK.
Yeah,
it's a
like the
little stabby
UK
out
is
there.
fabulous. No.
It's a little stabby right now.
It
but,
is
you
a
know.
little stabby. Oh, I see Jenny joined us. Hey, Jenny, how you doing tonight? Thank you for being here, and we are talking guilty pleasures. Now, David, the producer, can you do a
Yes.
little checky check of hashtag bourbon soaked live?
I certainly can.
At the very least, we can show everybody what cowpoke looks like. There he is.
Oh, there it is. It's right.
That is the glory.
In all its glory. Matter of fact, let me open this
Blow
up.
him up.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my beloved cowpoke.
And you wonder why I lost him?
I'm still pissed off about that.
Yep. You'll have to live with it.
See, he's so the sparkly tail, the stick pony, the abs. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I really wanted on my Christmas tree. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
hey, he's a statue.
Well, if that's what you want to call him.
I mean, we could have put him on the top of the tree, I suppose, but
Oh, that's even better.
we could have had him riding the top of our tree, but no. So that is my beloved cowpoke. And y'all, so let's talk for a moment about what Bourbon Soak Live is. That's right. That's our fancy hashtag. What you do is you'd snap a photo. So tonight, snap a photo of yourself, snap a photo of your favorite guilty pleasure, post it on Twitter using hashtag Bourbon Soak Live, and we'll show it on the show and we'll talk about it, and you can have your moment of glory basking in, that bourbony glow that we have here. Is that what it is? It's a bourbony glow?
Every single evening.
Every single evening. I see Bill 56 Belair has joined us. Nancy Jones, somebody did a video on cowpoke? Really? Oh, we don't have him in any of our videos, do we? I
No,
don't think we do.
no.
There may be more than one cowpoke, which I accept. I realize he wasn't exclusive to me, and I can only hope he has found a good home.
When you leave something like that in the men's bathroom, it's not going to stick around very long.
Well, that's my concern. So, Wendell, maybe in Tampa in December. We're going to be in Orlando in February.
In February, yes.
Yes. And I'm going to be in Charleston in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
Yes. But that's a very short trip. Mm. So what are y'all drinking right now? This is 106 proof barrel bourbon that I've got going on right now. And I've been drinking it for quite a while because it's cold. It's so, so good. And I picked it out specifically because I knew it was a flavor profile that David would like. You know, he prefers kind of a more mellow sort of flavor. He doesn't like the big spicy ones that I like. So I found something that kind of suited.
Some ryes I like. I do like some ryes.
Yeah,
Yep.
you like the ryes that aren't meant for rye fans.
Okay.
You like a softer rye.
That's true.
Yeah, I like a really, strong.
The softer side of rye.
The softer side of rye. The romantic side, the Robert Goulet side of
That's
rye.
right. How much was the bottle? One wants to know.
About $70.
Yes, it's not inexpensive, but I would say that this is absolutely worth it. I'm a big fan.
Everything that I've had from Barrel has been outstanding. I really like that I trust the Barrel line. And actually, I think Mash and Drum was the one who suggested that to me. He was talking about, if you want to get involved in whiskey, then, one thing to do, one way to start is to find a distillery or a distilling company that you really, really like and learn what you can about them. So for me, my starter was Heaven Hill, but now I'm really fascinated by the things that Barrel Bourbon is doing, just with the way that they come up with these, blended bourbons and the way that they choose them and everything. I'm just getting started in, my digging into what they do. So it's kind of a cool learning experience for me.
Not a Great Gamer is a little put back by the price. He says $70. You could buy 70 reasonably quality sausages with that.
Sausages are that cheap?
They must be over in the UK.
Wow.
He's a big fan of sausages.
I understand that. I do. I see Mark Brown has just finished a Boulevardier. Is that how you pronounce it? Boulevardier? Boulevardier? I never know how to pronounce that. And then also Wild Turkey 101.
Yes.
That's a classic right there. Oh, that's good. Although, personally for me, I prefer the Russell's single barrel. Or 10-year. Both are good.
There you go.
You've got Blanton's Wendell Live. Buy it.
Yeah.
Buy it up. Although I will say the 66 is maybe a touch high. I think we get it here for like 57 or 58.
It depends on the state and the tax laws
I
that
know.
are out there.
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Well, and the liquor store itself.
Yes.
A lot
it
of places
does.
jack up the price of Blanton's for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Because they can.
Yeah.
It's based on demand many times.
Well, and Blanton's is very collectible,
Yes.
which is why I'm obsessed with it. I mean, I enjoy drinking Blanton's, and I really like the flavor profile, but I am obsessed with collecting the little bottle caps.
It's Boulevardier.
Boulevardier.
There you go.
Well, all right. How very fancy.
Yes.
Where is Jack Daniels?
As something about- which I'm gonna
Oh,
try, Jack.
I think I know what you're talking about. It's one of their flavored releases. I don't really know anything about it, but if you give it a try, let us know how it goes. I'm curious.
And we have Jenny Marceth in the chat. Thank you for helping out there. As always,
Oh,
Jenny.
she's so good.
Jenny's awesome.
She's my favorite.
Better than me. I know this is true.
Oh, and speaking of, I know she's not tuned in right now, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Ginger, who, poor gal, she's down with another cold. So she's home nursing that horrible sore throat with a hot toddy, per my suggestion. So I hope she feels better.
There you go.
That's true. Juliette for a loop. What do you mean by that, RWC Cars?
That threw Juliette.
Oh,
for a loop, I
threw
think
me
is-
for a
yes.
loop. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm not as well versed in Jack Daniels. I started drinking Jack Daniels whiskey when, I was younger than 21. But I never really became all that familiar with its releases afterwards. It just wasn't. Once I moved on to bourbon, it wasn't my favorite flavor profile, I think. I do know they have a Sinatra release out right now.
They do. And it's from everything I've read, and obviously we haven't had it yet, but
Yeah.
everything I read said that it is incredibly overpriced.
Yeah, well, that it is. But, people will pay for that kind of thing. It's like Pappy, It's just got that legend to it. And I feel like
Some people swear by it, though.
I know. I just don't think it's worth the effort, really. I mean, there's so many, and that's why I like drinking things like Barrel, is because you get an incredible flavor out of it. And yes, it is a higher price tag, but you really, really get a great experience out of it beyond just the, cachet.
And Not a Great Gamer wants to know, hot toddy, isn't that an ass? It can be.
It certainly could be, sir. No, it is hot toddy. It's 2 D's and a Y. And it involves boiling water, lemon juice, honey, and a whole lot of whiskey. It is the cure-all for everything. I mean, I will drink that, at the slightest bit of a sniffle, and I will feel better. Jack Daniel's honey is excellent with ginger ale. Everything, in my opinion, is excellent with ginger ale. Although instead of ginger ale, I suggest going with ginger beer because you really get a bolder flavor out of it. It's not as watered down.
Yep. And we have Ghost Mafia joining us as well.
Well, hello, Ghost Mafia. Thanks for being here. And y'all, remember, if you dig what you see, make sure you like what you're watching. Drop me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And, of course, tell all your friends, because Bourbon Soak Live Monday nights is the place to be, y'all. It just is.
I have fun when my neighbors aren't knocking on my door.
I can't believe you answered that. We have so many people who come soliciting door to door, and I've gotten really, I used to answer the door and get really snippy with these people. We had a bunch of, Christian Scientists or something
We had
pop
Jehovah's
up.
Witnesses come up.
That's
all the
who they
time.
were. So they pound on the door, and it's, dinner time, and I'm like, what? What do you want? And they're like, hi, ma'am, I wanted to tell you about this thing. Do you have religion in your home? And I go, well, yes, I do. I worship Satan. And they're like, what?
And you actually have said that.
I say that quite often. I go, yes, I am a member of the Church of Satan. And they're like, what? I go, it's a perfectly legitimate religion, and I am a part of it. Do you have something to share with me? And they're like, nope.
Yep, they walk away pretty quick. But they don't learn their lesson because they always come back.
Coming back, the dickweeds.
Now they're on a mission to try to save you.
Yeah, they're going to convert me. I don't think so. I'm sticking with Satan. Hashtag sticking with Satan.
That'll learn them.
That will learn them. Philip, I can't see your full name because there's a cursor over it.
Yeah, Philip Cockrum.
There you go. Hello, and thank you for joining us. You've missed all sorts of great dialogue.
And JoJo's here as well,
and
JoJo Walker.
JoJo Walker, thank you. Wow, DR, my son invites them in and debates them. Actually, funny thing, when we were just in New Orleans, we were on Bourbon Street, and, you get these street preachers. And there was this whole group of them, and they were very aggressive, in their tactics. And my guy went up to the one guy, and he's like, well, tell me about what you're, preaching right now. What's going on? And what did you do? You, kept countering everything with, but I'm a good person. What difference does it make?
He gave up on me.
He did. He gave up on you.
He's tried to save
thanks,
me.
Thanks, man.
He tried to save me in the street.
And
spent 2 minutes with me and went, nah.
Nah, not going to happen.
Nah.
So apparently David and I are beyond saving.
Yep, that'll happen. Jesus was not meant to be part of our lives. That's okay.
That's all right. I think we're all better off for it.
Well, you don't want to see stuff around you burning.
JoJo has suggested that the next time I tell them I am in the middle of a sacrifice. And that is a very good tip. I'm totally going to do that.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Toy Man. Yes, I'm sorry. That's right.
What's that?
Oh, wait, the message disappeared. All right, never mind. There was a comment, and I was going to read it.
You said Toyman, though. You meant RWC card.
Yes,
well,
yes. He was.
Is,
well, that was
yeah.
where I was going with it. Is that
Okay.
he was reminding us that is now his new name.
Absolutely.
I didn't know if I should call that out or not. I didn't know if you wanted to be incognito or not. Whiskey Dick is here. Hello, and he wants to know what I think of that barrel bourbon. You're lukewarm on it, really. See, I picked this out specifically, and I've said this earlier, because I was really curious about the fruit flavors that they were talking about. And I'm really pulling that out of here. I like that it's just a little juicy, a little dry. and not overly oaky. And I got this because I knew it was something David would like. So
It's more my speed.
we're both really enjoying it. Although I have to say, I think of all of the barrel releases I've had, batch 11 was hands down my just favorite.
Yeah, we haven't tried 21 yet. This is just batch 20.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, I didn't pick the 21 because I knew that had a spicier profile to it.
Ah, well, you would probably like that better.
I would love it, but I wanted to get something we could both enjoy. Whiskey Dick, I'm going to have to go back to it. I think I have one pour out of it, wanted to give it some time. Yeah, you know what? That's a good call out because that's something that we found. It wants to open up a little bit. It definitely needs a little bit of time to, blossom, I suppose.
Right, and we tried it with and without water, right?
Yeah, and we were
preferred-
we were mixed on it. I actually liked it with water. I thought it brought out a little bit more of the sweetness to it, but David preferred it without. I think you got a little bit more of a, what did we think it was? It was more of a like honey flavor with
It was honey and a little
like
vanilla.
maple syrup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And Lady Swan has joined us as well.
Whiskey Dick, no, I have not tried the infinity bottle yet. Or have we?
No, we did. So
We
that was a
did?
while ago, though. Yeah.
It was one of those.
Well, there were two of the specialties that they came out with.
Yeah.
Was it the anniversary one or something?
I don't recall.
Remember the name of it.
That one and I don't remember it probably because I wasn't blown away by it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I could be talking out of turn. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to check my notes.
Well, notes and also take a look at the. Oh, and by the way, for anyone that is a huge fan of whiskey, bourbon, spirits, general, that the Whiskey Dick is actually put together notebooks that you can buy on his site. It's actually very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
That kind of walk you through exactly what your experience was with that specific whiskey. So when you want to go back to it, you'll have your notes, and it's more than just notes. There's also little graph charts that you can create based on different profiles. So
Yeah,
Very cool.
I'm all about creating little notebooks of stuff. I'm a handwriter. I don't like using a laptop or typing out notes. I have a notebook. I have it decorated with stickers, and I handwrite out all my stuff. It's just my thing. I'm old school that way. I like my pen and paper.
right.
Christopher David. Oh, you have the dovetail. I think that's the one
That's
we
the
were.
one we had.
That's the one we had.
That's the
It
one
was
we
not
had.
the infinite barrel. It was
That's
the dovetail.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you
We
for the
misspoke.
reminder. Totally misspoke on that one. So it looks to me as though we are kind of running out of time here, Mr. Behind the Rant,
Mm-hmm.
David the producer, man of many names. So let's talk about when you can watch again. That'd be Monday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time. YouTube, right here, Juliette Miranda. And I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about next week. I have a couple different ideas, but
Yeah, if you have any, use hashtag BourbonSoakLive, put them on Twitter.
yeah,
and,
send them to us and we'll
absolutely.
definitely make them a part of the show because this is as much your show as it is mine. I mean, I'm here on camera yakking at y'all, but you're the ones who keep things interesting. So let me know what you want to talk about and we'll make it happen.
yeah.
Now, what I do want to call out is something pretty awesome. Next week, next Sunday to be specific, on my podcast, The Unwritable Rant, I'm going to be sharing my interview with teen idol Leif Garrett. We're going to be talking about his new book. It's called Idol Truth. And wow, this guy has a hell of a story. I mean, talk about just living the life. 5 years, hardcore teen idol. He did everything. He was an actor, he was a singer, just a really like sexy, cool guy. And then, like most teen idols, he'd had his downfall, fell into drugs, but he's coming back and we're going to be talking about it all. So that's The Unwritable Rant, and it'll be posting on Sunday. Leif Garrett, Jesus.
Right?
That's crazy, right? I mean, I had posters of him on my walls.
I didn't.
No, that doesn't surprise me. Although, again, the blondes, not
I had-
really my thing.
I had Farrah Fawcett on my wall.
Yeah, I mean, I was more of a Davy Jones kind of girl.
Yeah, you were.
But
Totally.
Leif was in there too. I thought he was a little too pretty for me, honestly. Not really my thing, and then I moved on to, Kurt Russell and whatnot. But speaking of, we watched Tango and Cash the other night, which is an awesome movie. Talk about a guilty pleasure right there.
Oh boy, that when you try to dress up Sylvester Stallone to make him look smart, it failed
Oh, the
miserably.
glasses. Yes, he wore the little glasses. He looked very, very proper. But it was a good movie.
See, Whiskey Dick says redheads are my thing, Juliette.
Cheers to that.
Don't blame me for that.
No, I get it. I totally get it. And Creator Spotlight Show, Snake Plissken. Yes. Oh my God. Escape from New York. Great movie. And also, I'm going to say it, I like Escape from LA too. I do.
Yeah. That's a hard watch.
It is not. It's a great movie. I mean, anything that Kurt Russell does is pretty much guaranteed to be awesome.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you saw him in Hateful Eight. He was amazing in that.
Oh, he was great in that.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Kurt Russell. You just can't. What does Wendell Live say? Cigars that go with bourbon.
Oh,
You know, we're going to have to hold off on that until the summer. I only smoke cigars in the summertime when I can do it outside on the driveway.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
We've been doing Robustos lately, style of cigars.
Well,
but,
and the same neighbor that we were helping out over the summer gave us a box of Cubans. So
yes, he goes to Canada quite often and gets Cuban cigars, brings it back for us. So that's like Romeo Julieta kind of stuff.
yeah,
yeah.
I will make a note of that. I'll make sure it's something we cover this summer. Anyway, y'all, I got some bourbon I got to finish off, and I just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us tonight. Gosh, y'all, you're amazing. I mean, Ron, RWC Cars, Wendell Live, Whiskey Dick, Mash and Drum, of course, Donner Pass Whiskey, JoJo, Philip
Ghost
Copram,
Mafia,
Patrick Fulmer.
Wendell Live.
Yes, I'm sure I'm missing people.
Mike from Creator. I don't know if you got him.
Mike from Creator
And of
Spotlight
course,
Show.
Rob
and Slim, and of course, the Who's Right Boys. I don't know if they're still with us.
They may be lurking.
And our favorite sausage man.
Not a great gamer. How could you forget him?
Right. So, and Jenny, thank you
Lady
again.
Swan too, and Jenny. How could we,
Yeah.
never forget Jenny?
You're
She's the
so
best.
good. You retweet the hell out of the show. You know, you share all the links in here. You maintain things. I love you. Thank you for being here. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a great night. I'll be back next Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with another episode of Bourbon Soak Live. Cheers, y'all.
Well, down here in Nola on Thalia Street.
Okay, I'm an asshole. I didn't shout out Container Man. Wow. Oh my God. Forgive me, sir. I didn't mean it. David didn't mean it. We love you. Thanks for being here.